And we are back. So, last we left off, the Fellowship came under siege at the Bracketing's Bastards barracks. There's a lot of B's in there, a lot of alliteration. What can I say? That actually wasn't on purpose, but it's awesome. Regardless, though, the Flagellants, the Fanatics, under Master Catch's orders, were pursuing Seamus and Marius, followed them back to the barracks. Bracketing discovered that he was given information after he awakened from his being rendered unconscious by Three Fingers in the Temple of Shalia, that the Fanatics, harrying his companions, were in the poor quarter, moving towards the barracks as well. Fortunately, he got there just in time to witness Marius rip his way through these crazed, insane men with his bare hands, laying waste to almost all of them single-handedly. Many of them laid low at the hands of the bastard themselves, and one having his throat torn out by Seamus McCready and his crossbow. However, the dust is finally settled, and you can take stock of what has happened, what has transpired. Many of the bold men are no longer with us, having been bludgeoned to death with these flails. All of the Fanatics are dead at this point. All of the ones that you can at least see. You do hear in the distance. You do hear the sounds of shouts, and you can see torchlight out in the distance. But currently, we are out of combat. So, Fellowship, what are we doing?
Seamus will probably take stock. Seeing if anyone's still alive that needs heals.
I will, Braggadine is actually going to, Seamus, this is for you, and give him his bundle.
Okay. He hands the bundle to you, Seamus, and you can feel cold inside of it, but as you do you unbundle it?
Yes.
Okay. You see the familiar scabbard of your katana. You see it in all its glory. You know, the companion of the headsman, the one that has rendered so many low, and the magical tether that you've had to it, and you don't feel that connection, Seamus, as you're holding it. But it is a fine katana, and as you open it to look at the blade, you do see the kind of purple hamon along the edge of this deathly blade. But you do not feel that magical connection that you normally have. In fact, the symbol on your palm that was burned into it is not flaring up. It's still there, still like a scar, but it is not flaring as you grasp hold of the sword.
Braggadine, how did you get this?
Mr. Rose, one of Mr. Gold's employees, found me at the Temple of Shalia, and gave it to me. But we must hurry. The building here is on fire. I must see to the few men I have left alive. Will you help me tend with Jacques? Will I see if there's any other men that we can save?
Yeah, Seamus will move and grab. If the building's flaring up, dragging people out if they're still alive.
Yeah, it is beginning to flare. The two men they're at the door. They were covering the door. They've actually already moved to Jacques and were kind of helping him outside at this point. Good. The building is beginning to catch. It's not fully engulfed or anything like that, but the roof is beginning to catch. And at this point, after that many rounds going by, it has gotten to the point where it's probably more than you guys can handle with buckets of water.
I'm actually going to look around if there's any bystanders Are there any bystanders?
Oh, yes. There are tons of
I-
people beginning to come out and look at the massacre that has transpired.
I'm going to just point at one, kind of closest to me, and you go summon the fire brigade or the bucket brigade or whatever they would call it in this town.
Yes.
Okay.
And he kind of just looks at you, and this is more of a ruffian kind of person just staring at you. You give me a choice. Are you going to do? Or you can either do an intimidation or a charm test.
What stat does intimidation use? You know what? I want to do intimidation. It'll be more fun.
Okay.
Then I bow up and I put my hand just casually rested on my sword hilt, looking him in the eyes. Rolled a 20 out of 50. 3 levels of success.
Okay. You say this with a very authoritative voice, being a practiced man of former nobility and a commander of men at that. And as you do, the kind of ruffian kind of man that looks like many of the other men that live in this area, many of the people, kind of dirty, shabby, poor, kind of shakes himself out of his stupor, looking at this massacre that has just transpired. There's blood everywhere, dead people, and the barracks that are on fire. And he begins moving away. Yes, sir. And he begins moving away off to probably tell somebody.
Okay.
In the meantime, Bragadine and all of you go ahead and give me perception tests.
Okay.
I failed.
Okay. Marius.
I failed.
Okay.
Possibly really
And
bad if it was hearing.
That's fine.
74 out of 37.
That's fine.
Bragadine passed, but I'm just doing the math real quick here. What's my penalty? Is it -10 for sight?
Yes, you have a -10
Two
for
levels
sight.
of success. Yeah, 2 levels of success.
With sight.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I 5 levels with hearing, but 2 levels for sight.
Yeah. This would be hearing or sight based.
Okay.
As you both. It would be both actually. Bragadine, you hear something coming from the building behind you. It sounds unusual, and then you glance, and you are out of the structure at this point, correct?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. You glance back, and you see that through the back door, where the fire hasn't spread to that far yet, you see several of the denizens of this area have come in quickly into the unguarded portion of the barracks and are looting the armory. And they're like, quick boys, quick. And they're like going in there and they're picking up armor and shit, and they're running out the back door with it.
Is it just the top of the building's on fire?
Yes, just the top of the building's on fire. Smoke is starting to bank down on the inside, but yes, that is what's currently happening. Your building is being looted right now.
Of course it is. All right. I've only have 2 bastards who are standing, and I've got Jacques.
Yes, who's heavily wounded still.
Yep.
Seamus, go ahead and roll me that heal check real quick.
All right. Ooh, I failed miserably.
Yes, how bad?
With the -30 or with the -20, I failed by 5.
Yes, 5 levels. Unfortunately, if it was one more, you might have killed him. But with just 5, you just kind of look him over, and you just don't see how you can fix him currently. Mostly because he's still wearing his armor, and so it's kind of hard to get a gauge on what needs to be done. You try a few things, and he doesn't appear to be getting much better.
I lost him. This man's done.
I am not done, Bragdine. Please don't let me go.
Oh, well, we will take care of you, Jock. Well, one second. I kind of walk back towards the building. I call out really loud. Friends, thank you for collecting those items so they do not get burnt. Make sure they find their way to Mr. Gold's shop properly. You do not want him to send me after you.
One of the men looting looks up at you and says, "Fuck you, governor!" And they keep continue to pile shit, and they've got bags at this point. He's like, "Come on, bring it here!" They've got sacks, and they're piling shit in the bags, and they're running out the back.
Well,
Can I see their faces? Can I see their
They're
faces?
not afraid of you.
Sure, you can see several of their faces.
Okay, good.
Good,
Maris and
good.
Seamus don't see this, I guess.
Good.
Say what? Who?
Well, I'm
Maris and
hoping
Seamus don't see
Seamus.
this.
At this
I'm hoping
point,
Seamus hears
once
the guy.
initially you didn't, but when Bragadine starts yelling into the structure, yes, you would see it at this point.
All right.
Seamus
Well,
is
if there's
chuckling.
one close enough to me, I'm gonna put hands on him.
Oh, they're out the back. They're on the other side of the building. So
Okay, so they're already gone. Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
That's fine. I didn't know if they're
Alright,
still mid-loot.
Bragadine fully intends to come back later and with some help and retrieve his items. Because you said these were locals around here, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. You could tell they're all locals. This is
yeah.
this is the poorest part of town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Other
which
people
is a
will definitely
reason
give them
why
lots of
the barracks was so heavily guarded was because
Yep.
of the area it's in. So yes.
It's all right. Somebody will for a few pieces of silver. I will get their names and their addresses later.
There you go.
So, perfect.
It's perfect.
Gentlemen, let's will you please, Marius? Will you help me and carry Jacques to the temple? We must tend to his wounds. He is too important to me. I do not want to lose him.
Bragadine, and this is Jacques. We must find shelter. We cannot be out here. They will be looking for you. You cannot take the main roads.
Let us all go to my. We will travel to my house and try to find or.
Now, we'll say your house is across town,
All right.
and you will have
Where's the
to
Thaggy?
you will have to cross the main road and the main square. The Thaggy is technically on this side of the main road, but it is on the opposite side of town. It's all the way almost to the mine.
Okay.
It's in that direction.
I'll give Jacques I'm gonna lean over to Jacques and just give him a swig of the flask that I have.
Okay. Yeah, you give it to him, and these are this is the flask you got from the matriarch Selena.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He takes a sit. He takes a big gulp. And you visibly see him starting to straighten a little bit, and yep, he gets a little bit off of death's door here, as he. Thank you, Master Wolf.
Doesn't Mr. Gold have like a safe house real close to us?
He does.
In the slums
There is actually a building you guys are all very familiar with. Golden Tonics is close
Okay.
by.
With the drug den in the back.
It is. There is the opium den in the back. So
That's my friends. Let's I know a place close that will be safe for us to go to. Follow me. Help him. Follow me. And I will start to head to the direction of the Golden Tonic, assuming that the other two bastards are helping Jacques along.
yeah, they're helping Jacques, and Jacques has now got his feet under him, but he is
Okay.
still pretty badly wounded as you are continuing forward. Marius and Seamus, are you doing the same?
What time of night is it?
You're looking at like 1 or 2 in the morning at this point.
Okay.
So are you following?
Marius is debating with himself.
I haven't told them where we're going.
He has not told you where you're going.
Yeah, I just said I know a safe place.
All right. Marius will walk along.
How about Seamus?
Yeah, Seamus will slowly get up as he's been running all over town.
That's true.
But, he's never going to leave Marius behind, so slowly get up, start walking.
Okay,
you
guys.
As we walk, I'm going to try to pry open these manacles on Seamus.
Okay.
If I can.
Do you have anything on your person that you're going to attempt to do it with?
These mitts.
These mitts? I can tell you right now, it will be impossible with your mitts.
No!
Yes.
Don't look at me like this. You
What
saw
if
what I
you're
did
the
to
one?
those people. What are those knife-edge chops that?
I'm telling you,
kill a man?
it's impossible. They are magical in nature, and
Okay.
you will not be able to pry them off with your bare hands.
As,
All right, that's fine.
as we're making our way, as we're kind of leaving and making our way through the crowd, is
Mhm.
there any locals that I see that I might recognize? Right, I could it's old Joe or something like that. Any unsavory characters that I would have seen before that I have some kind of.
That was actually going to be my next question. Are you guys attempting to slink away, or are you guys just moving through town?
We're going to slink away, but I just want
Okay.
somebody around there that I might have seen, just so I can.
That's fine.
Relay a quick-
Before we get to that, I need you guys to give me stealth rolls.
All right.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Crowd.
shit.
Oh,
shit! I did it.
Oh, damn it.
Marius got a 23 out of 26.
Okay.
I got
Seamus?
a 16. Oh, sorry.
I got a 20 out of 22 with my
Oh, okay.
exhaustion.
And then Braggadine?
16 out of 31.
Okay. Man, surprisingly, you guys all did pretty well on that. So you do actually manage to keep a lower profile, and you're kind of moving. You're moving quicker, mostly because Jacques has been healed up, patched up by Marius, for one thing. And you're able to move at a decent pace and still keep quiet. As well, you under Jacques' request, you keep off and you keep away from any crowds. Now, cumulative, you guys only had maybe 1 or 2 successes. So, with that being said, Braggadine, you do spot an unsavory character, old Snaggletooth Jack over here, who only has he has a handful of teeth, and one of them juts out at a weird angle over his lip. He has one milky white eye, and he's just this old, decrepit-looking man that is he just always happens to be in the wrong place at the right time for some reason. And
right
you
place
know
for him
for a
right now.
fact, Braggadine, that this man is an informant for Mr. Gold.
Perfect.
And not only is he an informant for Mr. Gold, he's an informant for pretty much anybody that will give him some money. So there is that. As you spot him as he's watching you, and he thinks he's hidden. He thinks he's kind of ducked down, hiding from you, but you easily catch light of him.
I walk over to him and I Jack.
You begin walking towards him.
Yeah, and I say Jack, and I pull out 2 coins and kind of clink them together in my hand so he can hear them to catch his interest.
And he's yes, Master Braggadine. What can I do for you?
The names and the addresses of the men who looted the barracks.
Oh yeah.
I put two silver coins in his hand at that point.
Of course.
Double that tomorrow.
Of course,
Get
Master
that
Brackett.
information to me.
I will do my best. You will not be disappointed. Where may I ask
If I am
may you be
disappointed,
going?
You will be disappointed.
Of course, I know my place. Where are you heading now, Master Brackett?
Oh, that is not important. In 2 days, give that information to me via Mr. Gold.
Yes, it will be done, good sir.
2 days.
Have a safe journey. And he begins to creepily slink his way away from you.
Excellent.
Okay.
And we head towards the
Towards
Golden
Golden
Tonics.
Tonics. As you approach, you finally get toward the. You're going in the direction of the building. You do hear, luckily with your stealth checks, you do hear people are in pursuit of you, and not just the fanatic massacre. At this point, it sounds like the guard is looking for the three of you as well, because you are technically escaped prisoners at this point that have burned down the Temple of Sigmar and have massacred men in the service of the temple as well. And you hear calling out that you three are wanted men. As you begin getting closer to Golden Tonics, Jacques speaks up. Master Bragadin, we must stay out of sight. The Gold warned me this might happen. He said that there'd be much treachery afoot if we were to be caught getting you out. We were to lay low, keep away from any places that you might normally frequent, and then go to the meeting point at the last moment.
No, our plans was to hide at the shop, but
I believe that would be fine. I'm more worried about these two. And he kind of nods towards Marius and Seamus. Everyone knows where the wolf will go. The headsman, that is, it is what it is, but they will be looking for him.
Well, I don't. We must stick together. It's I don't know another place for them to hide at.
Yeah, of course, I'm worried. What you will? We all know he's not been happy with our current patron.
Marius, we must make a decision. Please come here, brother. So I want us to go and, as you know, I'm under the employ of Mr. Gold. I have a good relationship with him. He has a safe house, the Golden Tonic, but it would be a good place for us to stay at and hide until we find better plans. I know that you and Seamus both have. There's been some disagreements, and you have not. My minds have not met on the same way, but I ask you, for the sake of your life, will you trust me on this and make a promise not to assault anybody while we were there until we at least have a better plan?
Marius would probably be just kind of staring at him while he's talking this entire time. And Bragadin, you are a boisterous man, but I know that you care for one's family. And I'll step up a little bit closer to him. That little runt threatened my little Priscilla and my wife Sarah. I will never forgive him. and I will kill him. And I will kill all in his employ if they try to stand between me and him. And then I step a little bit closer. All in his employ.
He means you,
Yeah.
Bragadine.
And I'll start walking.
Seamus sense
closer
that.
to the tonic.
Okay. With the threat made, Bragadine, you all begin to still quietly moving towards the golden tonics. The store is, it looks like there's no one present when you get there. There is a sign on the door that says closed. However, Bragadine, you know, you reach down and you tap the side next to the door frame, and a key falls out from underneath a hidden alcove into your palm. And you're able to reach in and unlock the door and step inside. The shop is very similar to how you remember it last. It is mostly just full of odds and ends, and there's smells of spices and just strange aromas wafting inside of here. The back room that all of you know about is hidden currently behind the large tapestry. It's still the same tapestry there. It's very dark in here, but you move inside. Are you going to stay up here in the front, or are you going to move into the back?
Are there windows?
There are essentially some storefront windows, yes.
But there's no illumination, like no candles or any like.
No,
gas
there's
lamps
no candles here on the inside, and the kind of lantern street lights from the outside don't shine very brightly over here, which might be one of the reasons why this shop is such a good spot for Mr. Gold.
Okay. I will marry you. You have been with me to my former home. You understand. You know how I feel about family. Remember, and I will always stand with you when it comes to family. But I ask you now, if you guys will...
I don't know that. I fought with you for years now, and I told you before we came to the city, the first thing that we need to do is to protect our home, and the one man who weakens it day after day is Gold. The first thing you do is you run to him.
It was not like that. I did not run.
It was. And I'll Marius is upset. He's visibly angry at being in this situation where he has to be in Mr. Gold's. So
You're making him angry, Bragadine.
I could see this, Seamus. You are not helping. Gentlemen, please. Stay. I ask you just to stay in the front here. Or fine. Marius, then. In order to appease you and to show you my love and respect for you, I ask you, do you have a place that we can go and hide at? I will tell me now, and we will go. I will not ask you to stay here. I will not put you in this position. I will not disrespect you in this way. If you do not have this idea, though, I will grab a mask and go back and see if there's anyone here, and we can find a different place to go.
I believe it's too late now. We've already made you did not tell me where we were going. It's too late. I would have suggested the mine.
All right. Bragadine will kind of shake his head and
Marius just gets behind the counter and just kind of hides behind the counter, looking at, sits down behind the counter.
Yeah, you kind of sit down.
All right.
And all of you are, it's getting early at this point. All of you are getting very tired. So, I'm assuming we're going to attempt to take a rest.
Yes.
Okay. Bragadine, if you go to check the back,
Yeah, I want to check the back before we chill out.
Yeah, you go to peek your head in the back, and the first thing you notice is the brazier is lit, and the large brazier in the center of the room is lit, and there is this smoke emanating from it. However, it has a different scent. It doesn't smell like the normal narcotic scent coming out of it, but it is a very strong smell nonetheless. As you look around, you see that this place is eerily empty. There is no one present in any of the rooms, any of the flaps. Everyone is gone.
That's not expected. We've only come in and out the front door, correct?
Yes. As far as you know, Bragadine, there is no other. That's the only way in and out is through the front door. If there is something hidden, you might have to look for it. You might have to roll for it if you would like to try to figure that out. But I will say you're cutting into rest time if you're going to do so.
All right. I'll go back out front.
Mm-hmm.
Let us rest just a short while. Perhaps we can get up a little before dawn and make our way in the time of the least people being out to the mine or the Thaggy, perhaps. There is no one here. We are alone.
Okay. And all right, so we're taking a rest. Are we going to be setting up watches?
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
I'll take the first watch. I would imagine Bragadine is probably the least. He didn't actually do any combat and literally rose out of from sleep to this. So I feel like he's the least. Yeah, probably the best condition right now. So I'll take the first watch.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me perception roll.
Okay. I'm going to use the fortune point. Ooh, we got 20 out of either 64 or 94 if we're doing hearing.
Okay. Well, we'll do hearing.
Okay.
You hear down the street. You're very attentive. You're trying to be quiet as you can. Your men are tending to themselves. Jacques is out at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you do hear the calls in the distance of people searching, looking for the fugitives that are loose in the city somewhere, scouring it. At one point, you hear guards checking doors of shops.
Mm-hmm.
And because you had such a high amount of successes, you have time to run back to the front door and lock it. And then move back to your spot hidden. And 2 guards do come up to Golden Tonics and pull on the handle to see if it's locked. And seeing it locked and not being able to really see inside, continue on. And the rest of your watch goes uneventful.
Okay.
Very good on that roll, is all I can say. Next, does anybody want to take next watch?
I can take next watch.
Okay. Marius, as you get up, go ahead and give me a perception test.
All right. That's 19 out of 57 for sight, I guess, and smell, and 37 out of hearing.
Okay. So, Marius, as you're up, you are wearily glancing out of the front doors. Bragadine more than likely told you of what had happened. And with that many success levels, you do spot at one point a figure across the kind of narrow street that you're on one of the rooftops, on all fours, slinking by, you see a pair of red eyes
Motherfucker.
look at you. You say that, and when you say that, you see that it notices you spotted it. The eyes close, and then you lose sight of it. And the rest of your watch goes uneventfully. Seamus, do you want to take a watch, or are you just resting up?
I want to rest up. Hopefully, get rid of both of my exhaustions.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. Let's have one of Bragadine's men take watch. Okay, yeah, not bad. The rest of you get some sleep in the meantime, and early-ish for you guys to get a full rest. You're going to be looking at like 7-ish, 7:30, something like that, before you guys can get the equivalent of a very not extremely restful rest, as you are sleeping on a floor with really nothing, no kind of trappings. You don't have your bed rolls or anything like that, so it's not exactly comfortable. At least you're out of the elements, though. And everybody go ahead and roll me endurance checks, and we'll see how much wounds you gain back.
Ooh.
Marius, what you got?
I rolled an 11 out of 65.
Okay. We were doing crits on these. You get the double your success levels.
Oh, yeah.
So just go and do that plus your toughness bonus, and that's what you recover.
Okay.
Seamus.
I got a 33 out of...
What?
Yeah, bro. I didn't know about this crit.
brother.
I didn't know about this crit thing.
Yeah.
What's a minus 20? So let me... 33 out of 47.
Okay. I'll give you a choice, Seamus. You can either double your hit points, or you can remove both points of your exhaustion.
Oof. Exhaustion's going away.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the exhaustion goes away. You still recover your toughness bonus plus your success levels and wounds, though. You just don't get the double.
Okay.
All right. And Bragadine?
I rolled a 13 out of 54, so 4 levels of success.
All right. So 4 plus 5 is for you. So yeah, you recover 9 wounds, Bragadine.
Sweet, perfect.
Good.
All right, gentlemen.
So the morrow has come, and the day is yours. What are we doing?
I would like to look around the back again and see if there's any, for lack of a better term, disguises. Even if it's just something like cloaks that we might be able to try to disguise ourselves a little bit.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an intuition test.
Okay. Ooh, 5. Oh man. Let me see. It's 5 out of 64. So 5 levels of success.
Yes. With that, as you go into the back, Bragadine, you do find essentially it's the equivalent of a lost and found, but it is for all of the drug addicts that have left their various clothes behind in their stupor. Yes, it is not exactly sanitary, but you do find enough clothes here that you think you could outfit everyone present with 5 levels of success with some kind of makeshift garb. Now, it's not exactly going to be like matching color schemes here. That you will look a little strange, but you won't be wearing what you're obviously wearing.
Okay. Gentlemen, look, we can disguise ourselves a little bit, and hopefully that will help us get to the mine where wherever it is you wish us to hide that, Marius.
Marius?
Marius will just grab the cloak. We need to move. We're running out of time.
Yes.
Cole and Catcher escaping the city.
Marius,
Track them
please,
down and kill
lead
them.
the way.
Marius will don the cloak, and Marius isn't. Marius. Are we meeting? Are we wanting to meet this Three Fingers? I was visited by her the other day. Bragdon, you remember? She knocked you out.
Yes, we. And yes.
Do you think we should meet her? Is she
Well,
trusted? I've heard she's a
Marius,
bandit.
Let me be blunt with you, Marius. At this moment, I am now essentially signing my death warrant with Mr. Gold. I was supposed to meet his representative today, and he will put me in the position of which I
put you in this
gladly,
position.
please, which I gladly accept, where I would rather sign that warrant with him to stand with you, my companions. Of my men, Jacques, I will release you, Sylvain, and Nathaniel. If from your patronage, from my bonds, if you wish, or you may come with us. But I am now having to break the deal I made with Mr. Gold, and that will make me a wanted man.
Jacques, Bragdin, most of the men will follow you, but the time in the Empire here has given some of them strange ideas. They follow the coin more than loyalty. I fear we may lose most of the company.
That is how it must be.
Yeah, I will stand by your side, Bragdin. And the other two pipe up and say something similar.
I tear kind of rolls out of my eye. I thank you, my Bretonian brethren. Thank you so much. And I look at Marius and I lead the way, Marius. I will stand with you, and I will stand with you always.
Marius will nod at Bragdin. Seamus, that's Three Fingers. She seemed to know you. Can she be trusted?
She can be trusted as much as a bandit can be trusted, but I'm willing to go talk to her.
I don't know that Mr. Gold is at this meeting.
Nope, you don't.
With Three Fingers. Okay.
Bragdin might.
Yeah. Marius will probably just be like, well, maybe she can help us track down Cole or catch one of the two. Colemouth, maybe. We need to find that book. It's of grave importance.
No,
this has been about the book.
Wait, I do remember, I don't know if this is important, but I remember when they had us imprisoned. Yeah, Cole was whispering to catch the hideous man. Something about meeting the little man in the mountains after this. So I don't know if that will help us out, but it is something that I remember he mentioned. Perhaps that means something more to you. The little man in the mountain. But as for this Three Fingers, I know I was meant to meet Mr. Rose and Mr. Gold today at noon at the usual place, which I thought would be here. But no, I do not know where this Three Fingers would be.
All right. Well, I do believe that Three Fingers did tell me to meet Seamus at Bragding's, right?
She did.
Yeah, at 12.
Yep, at noon.
Yep. She wants to meet at your house, Bragding, at noon.
Well, my fine vagrant friends, trying to bust a smile and hopefully trying to change the mood. Let us hobble over to Mr. Bragadine's house. And I
what time
will
is it?
go.
7:30?
Yes, 7:30, pushing 8 at this point.
Okay.
All right. How long will it take us to get there if we're like trying to stealth?
If you're trying to
Or
stealth,
move
you could. I mean,
quietly.
you could make it. It's not Sealburg is a decent sized town, but it's not like it's not New York City or anything. So you could easily make it there within probably even stealthing probably like an hour, I'd say.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not that big.
Okay. I just can't imagine us just walking up Main Street. I mean,
Yes, that is true. So, if we have a game plan, are we leaving the Golden Tonics?
I'd figure we'd
Alright.
probably wait unless someone else got a different plan until closer to the time of 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
To meet up with Three
yeah.
Fingers, I guess.
I guess a few hours too. Also, I am going to look through some of the items, maybe find some Colombian marching powder, and hopefully see if there's any.
I'll say this: given enough time in this shop, you definitely find a large jar containing a white powdery substance that Bragadine knows and loves.
Yes.
You open the cap, Bragadine, and most of it's gone. But there is still some left.
No.
Perhaps Samir has been indulging himself more than usual. But you have at least 5 applications of powder in the bottom of this jar.
All right.
Are we looking for anything else?
I am going to look to see if there's any potions of healing or something that could, perhaps we might discern to be some kind of potions of health, anything like that.
Okay.
I'm looting the shop essentially.
All right. Go ahead and give me an
I'm not-
intuition test, and we'll see what
Okay.
you can discern is useful.
All right. It's a pass, but I think I'm going to use my last fortune point. It's better. Let's see, 19. Much better, actually. 64. 4 levels of success.
Okay. With 4 levels of success, you do. There's lots of weird things in this shop. Tons of weird shit. Most of it's beyond your comprehension. It's too foreign and
bet.
too strange for you to understand it.
What is
But
Patrick?
you do, as you're kind of looking over one of the glass cases towards where where Samir usually stands, towards the back. You do find a assortment of narcotics that may induce various states of euphoria.
Okay.
Like
Pocket some of
LSD
those?
kind of stuff. Yes.
Pocket some of those?
So yes, there's some of that. You find some poison. Essentially poison. You're not exactly sure what it is, but you can tell by the smell and just a little bit of taste. You kind of just dip your pinky in it and kind of put it on your tongue. And it is a very potent poison that is often used in how do you call this?
Taking out rivals.
Subtle assassinations. Yes, it can be. It has to be ingested for it to take effect. You would actually be familiar with this because this is a very interesting way of getting rid of nobility in Bretonnia that happens often. So you have a jar of that, several applications of it that can be laced into someone's food. You would also find some paste, and you wouldn't know what the hell it is. But when you find it, Seamus, it would catch your eye. And you would recognize the paste as some of the healing agents that you found in Dapone. So it is the equivalent of a healing potion, but it is a paste that you rub across your wounds. And
I
there
assume
are...
Seamus maybe calls out, I'll hand it to him.
Yes, and there are...
Yeah.
There are 3 applications of this paste. And that's about what you can discern with your knowledge.
Excellent.
So what are we doing, guys? Are we just waiting?
Mary's
So it
probably
sounds like.
waiting, and he'd probably be kind of talking to Seamus about how he escaped from what happened after he escaped from the temple. You know, just catching up.
That can easily be spoken to, because essentially what's going to happen shortly, since you're waiting, unless you just really want to RP something real quick.
The only thing that I'm curious is, does Seamus, and this is up to Seamus, if he wants to inform me about the Stragani being killed in his story.
Oh, yeah. I assume there's enough time to tell Marius the whole story.
Oh yeah, the whole story easily tells you about it.
And
Learning
Bragan
about-
doesn't know about that either, right?
This is the first time you're hearing about it, but now you know.
Wait, what,
You know,
what are you talking about? No. What do you mean they're No, I did not think
Why
that
would
they
they?
would do that.
why would they be targeted? They've done nothing wrong but entertain children.
They
Were they all slaughtered?
Well, Marius, pretty much. I killed one, and as I started chasing Catch, but if anybody lived through that, they didn't get very far after.
That's horrible. I have no idea why they were thinking there.
Intuition check.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Can I counter this with a charm roll?
Yes, I will allow a charm roll on it since you are actively lying. So yeah, go ahead and oppose.
No, that's not very good. 38 out of 40, so just a
Okay.
success.
And
No,
Dragon
out of 47.
I got
success.
68 out of 80, so just a success.
Shit.
Shit.
Okay. Let's see here. I will say, Marius, you don't not believe him, but you can tell that he's just being kind of weird. If that makes sense. It's a weird statement for him to make.
It's a weird thing for me to say.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that you don't believe him. It's just kind of strange that he's saying it, if that makes sense. So kind of you both kind of win-lose here, in a way.
Yeah. I can't wait to kill all these fucks.
Well, you have a good start already, Marius. You've killed about 30 of them in that building.
Oh, shit. But since we're waiting, since we decided to stay in Golden Tonics and wait, at a certain point, someone approaches the storefront. This is going to be at about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
It is a single person. They're heavily shrouded with all kinds, with a deep cloak. There's another person with them that has an umbrella. They're holding it above their head. And they approach Golden Tonics. A hand reaches out from underneath and this is like a black silk cloak. And you can see that the hand is white, pale, almost like porcelain skin, very slender, feminine. It reaches towards the door and tries the handle. It's obviously locked. Are any of you doing anything on the inside?
I seem to remember I was visited by an individual that sounds very familiar to this description. There's two of them.
There's two of them, yes.
Seamus cocks his crossbow.
Okay. Seamus cocks his crossbow.
And they try the handle. I'm going to actually... God damn it.
Marius is going to get by the side of the door.
Okay.
I'm going to open the door.
The hinge.
I'm going to open the door.
Yes, Bragadine, you approach the door.
Mm-hmm.
And you clink the lock open. The hand gingerly pushes it forward, and the door swings open. A very delicate but rigid-looking face looks at you from underneath the cloak, Bragadine, with a smile. And you definitely recognize the glint in her eye as Mademoiselle Nicolette Montague, the owner of the Silk Canary.
Mm-hmm.
She looks you in the eye, Bragadine. I thought I would be finding you here. She takes a big smell, like she's inhaling deeply. I could smell you from all the way to Canary. There's been so much blood spilled tonight. May I come in?
I reach out and I gently take your hand and I slowly pull in. Please, mademoiselle. It would be my greatest pleasure for you to come inside.
Of course it would. And she looks over. You may stay out here. I'll be fine. And a man who's holding this umbrella kind of gruffly nods his head. And you recognize him as Hans, the bartender at the Canary. She steps inside. Are you doing anything, Marius?
Do I know it's a female? Yes.
You can tell it's
I've
a
never seen
feminine
this person
voice.
before.
Yes. You've never seen her
Do I
before.
know-
You do hear the voice though.
Okay. And he didn't. Braggy didn't say her name, right?
No, he did not. But he takes
Okay.
her hand and leads her in.
Okay. Marius is just kind of watching at this point. Marius wouldn't just like cold cock a woman, you know.
Yes. She
No.
steps inside, and as she does, Marius, go ahead and give me a cool test.
Oh boy. That's pretty good. 8 out of 65.
Okay, Marius. She glances very slightly in your direction, and you feel a unnatural chill run down your spine. But you're made of stern stuff, and you manage to kind of keep your composure as there was an unnatural fear welling up inside of you. She gives you a wink and a bit of a smile and continues walking into the room.
Question.
Bragadine. Yes. Maris?
Sorry. Our party has a fair amount of experience at this point.
You do.
With the undead and vampires.
It's true. You do.
I'm not saying this individual could be a vampire, but do we get a similar sense from her presence or that kind of chill that she gave me?
I'll tell you what. I will allow you to give me because you don't have any skills really that would help you with this kind of stuff. So I will allow you to give me an intelligence test, and I'll give you a plus 20 on it.
Okay. 28 out of 30, plus 20, 56.
Out of how much?
56. 28,
okay.
56.
So 28, 30, 40. Okay, 2 levels of success. With that, Marius, you can tell by the almost porcelain-like skin that she has and the look that you got that she is most certainly not among the living. However, she doesn't appear to be the same as Michael Freeze. She appears to be something a little different.
Okay. Maris. Okay. Yeah.
Bragadine will now pipe up and, Mistress, please forgive my lack of manners. Gentlemen, this is Mistress Montague, proprietor of the Silk Canary. I would say a dear friend. Would you not say, Mistress?
Don't make me blush, Bragadine. It's more than close, wouldn't you say? And she kind of gets a little bit closer to you, Bragadine. Your men, Bragadine, are in stark terror. They are shaking, looking at her, overcome with fear from just being in her presence. Seamus, you don't have to make a cool test because of certain reasons, but you do feel there's something a little unnatural about her, and if anything, Seamus, you feel a little kinship with her, which is sort of strange. You feel almost like something familiar, not too far from her. And when she looks at you, Seamus, she definitely looks at you long and hard, and her smile kind of slips away for a second, especially as she glances down at the katana on your hip. You must be the headsman. We will have much to talk about. I'm glad I caught you all before the witch hunter's men have. We have much to discuss. Much has transpired since last night, has it not?
Yes, mistress. Please tell us. We must set out soon to meet someone. But if there is information you have, I have my
plenty. She glances over at Marius Wolf. Would you do me so kind, Monsieur Wolf, if you would find me a seat?
I guess if I see a seat, is there chairs around here?
There's a chair behind the counter that Samir sits in.
Okay. I'll grab the chair. Kind of bring it over to her very cautiously, kind of eyeing her.
And she gives a little bit of a chuckle as you get close. Don't worry, I won't bite unless you want me to.
I believe we've met your kind before.
It's so hurtful. My kind. Who says
Oh,
these things?
Marius, you have never met her kind before. Oh, by the lady. Oh my
I
goodness.
have, and so have you. Your father was one. Unless you remember, he murdered your whole family.
Marius. Lady Montague is not my father. She is definitely unusual.
At least I am not his father right now. You should hear what he rants and raves on.
Oh, like shush. That is for behind silken doors.
But we must get past these pretenses. I have information for you.
I'm gonna walk over and kind of get. I don't know. Mary's gonna stand a little bit maybe 5 feet away from her.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine.
Yeah, not
You
super
stand,
close to her, I guess.
yeah, you stand a little bit farther
But-
away from her.
Close enough where I can put my hands on her.
Of course. So you can try to put your hands on her. Yes, that's fine. I will say
Brandon is gonna
she
stand
strips
slightly to her right
she lets the
for now.
cloak fall back, motioning for you, Bragadine, to take the cloak.
I happily do.
Yeah, happily
Thank
do
you,
so,
Mary.
and exposes that she's wearing a very little underneath this cloak. Almost something you would see one of the ladies wear in the Silk Canary. There's lots of straps. There's a little bit of leather, some lace, and there's a lot of skin exposed. Yeah, that is much better. But I felt it would be important to inform you all that you have successfully burnt down the Temple of Sigmar. You have been branded heretics by all those in the city, and I believe there are more than one party interested in your death.
I thought you said you had news for us.
Of
Oh
course
yes,
I do.
I did think that was known to us too. Oh.
Well, the news I might have for you, Bragadine, is my little baguette. I have little birds that speak to me occasionally, and I can tell you that man, the witch hunter, he has gone into the mountains. He's taken those foul creatures, those stunted things, abominations, with him. They took a path deep into the mountains, and they were seen carrying a book similar to the one I know to be in Mr. Wolf's possession. Strange how he would have it now. I've also
Know the
seen
book.
a very interesting man and a large wolf conspirating with Father Huss of all people out in the woods outside of town, combing them, searching for something or someone, who knows who. And then, of course, there is Mr. Gold and his family gathering in your house, Bragadine, of all places. Shame, shame. You've never taken me there.
Oh. My abode would never be to your standards, my lady. That is why
Yes.
I've always come to you.
Well, neither would be eliminating all of the underfolk, from what I understand. At least that is his goal. Or at least that's what he says his goal is. He is not to be trusted. And she just kind of gets quiet for a moment, looking at the room, looking at the three of you.
Marius is taking a lot of this in. He is currently gobsmacked at the deference that Bragadine is giving to this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Especially knowing his history. So he's just eyeing it over. He he'll kind of pipe up at one point and just say, How did you know of the book?
Oh,
No one has seen it.
he told me. And she points over at Bragadine.
Maris just is staring at Bragadine.
So now it's right in my great book. Bragadine,
Bragadine,
please.
you don't remember telling her.
Oh, I don't? Okay. Surely I did not do that. The only, maybe perhaps she saw a copy of my book.
She holds a finger up, Bragadine, and you unwillingly shut your lips. Your mouth closes and you cannot speak.
Oh, shit.
You talk too much, Bragadine.
Yes, his mouth is better put to use in other places. But I have come to just deliver a message. I don't have much of a stake currently, but information is valuable, if you know what I mean. And she looks to you specifically, Seamus. I would love to see you, Mr. Headsman, in private at a later date, if you would come by.
Seamus looks over to Marius. Looks back at her. Says nothing.
Her mouth opens into a grin, and you see the point of two over-enlarged canines. I'll take that as a yes. Bragadine, and she snaps her fingers, and you unwillingly give her cloak back, Bragadine. She drapes it over her shoulders, turns, you still can't speak, opens the door, and begins to move outside. The bartender has the umbrella, holds it over her head. She turns around. I do hope that you make it through this. I would definitely hate for anything to harm you, Mr. McCready. Good day. And as she walks away, after about a minute, suddenly, Bragadine, you can speak again.
Oh, breathtaking, isn't she? Oh. But, no, did you hear what she said, Marius? The little man in the mountain call is in these... I believe she was talking about those strange dowry, the ones with the tusks.
Hey, I think you're right.
She said lots of things, Bragadine.
Marius is stunned. He's stunned by this whole 15, 20-minute conversation.
Yes.
He just inside Marius's mind, you know, all the stuff that is going on with Sealberg, and now he knows that there's a vampire in charge of the Silk Canary. Apparently, she has some hold over his fellow party member.
Yes, she does.
Bragadine, you know she has some type of control over you.
No, I wouldn't if most women have some power over me, but surely you exaggerate.
She made you shut up, Bragadine.
I became silent out of deference to her desire to speak.
She made you shut up, Bragadine. Wait. So many have tried. I believe all have failed. You know?
Well, so she may do be quiet, but perhaps we can have a. Right now, we know where this Cole is going, and apparently there's trouble at my house. Are we?
That is where Three Fingers said we should meet. Are they? Last I remember, Mr. Gold wanted, I believe, us to capture Three Fingers. Am I right on that? Am I remembering that correct?
Yes, he did at one point.
Yeah.
He did say specifically alive. Seamus got a bounty for her.
Yeah.
Alive.
Mm-hmm.
That must be where Mr. Rose expected me to meet him at noon. Well, Maris, this could be your chance if you wish us to go and, shall we say, avenge the threats done to your family. We could.
Now is probably not the time to start up another war.
We have to have everybody else in the city against us. It's probably wise. We could go and. I do not know what to do, gentlemen. I mean, we could try to catch this. I don't know where in the mountains she was talking about. We should try and catch Cole. We could try and go and find this catch in Father Husk. Although I have a feeling they will not find what they were looking for.
We have to go to the mountain, Marius. You know it. I know it.
It's true. I have a good idea where they're going. We've all been
Okay.
there before.
We need more than this, though, Marius. We are ill-equipped and outmanned.
I guess we can go talk to the little man and see what he can offer us. Not. He offers us nothing. We'll be forced to go on our own. We can't stay in the city much longer.
So, are you going to meet Gold, or are you going into the mountains?
We're going to meet Gold.
Okay. All right. You, I'm assuming you guys dress up into the stuff that Bragadine found?
Yeah.
Okay. The three of you begin to put all the garb on, and you move to go outside. I'm going to need, see, you guys don't have performance. I will accept stealth
Okay.
to remain
That's all I got.
unseen as best you can on your way there, because it is
I see.
Bragadine's house is, you have to get across the main road, and the main road has a lot of people on it. So
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Where's
do that.
where's Thordum's in all this again?
Thordum, the Thaggy would be to your north, and you have to cross another main road, but just not as big as the big one that leads from the gates to the mine.
Yeah. No, I rolled a 17.
Okay, and Marius?
I rolled a 12 out of 26.
All right, and Bragadine.
I roll a 31 out of 31. Right on the money.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
All right, so the three of you, and it takes a little bit of time to make your way over there, but you make it over there within the time allotted amount with just success, essentially, for all of you. You do notice that a couple heads turn when they see you. Specifically, two of the guards, the town guard, see you. And you get the feeling that they recognized you, and then they turn a blind eye to what is happening. As they begin to, as you begin to cross the main road, and you end up going to the street. It's the more fanciful street that goes to Bragadine's house. You pass the lovely alley where he got the shit beat out of him not too long ago, and stripped of all of his belongings. You see that the door is slightly ajar as you approach, rather ominously.
Mm.
Who's leading the way?
I am. Bragadinas.
Okay. You're the first one through. I need a marching order, essentially. So, Marius, where are you at in
Marius
this?
is kind of slow right now because I got a limp.
Yeah, that is true. I forgot you do have that till the end of this day. So,
Yeah.
all right. And
So,
then,
I'm assuming I'm kind of in the back.
yeah, Seamus, where are you at in this?
Seamus would go in last if possible. If not, he'd be, I guess, before Marius then.
Yeah, we'll just say right before Marius then. Bragadine's, your men are behind you, essentially.
Okay.
You make it to the door. You kind of push the door in. You take a few steps in. And the first thing you notice is that your place has been just ripped to pieces. It smells like wet fur in here.
Again.
And you look over, Bragadine, you look over where your bed is supposed to be. Your bed is flipped over onto its side. And there's a fucking, man-sized hole under your bed.
Oh, my God.
The smell is coming from in there. It's obviously the entrance to something.
I will draw my sword and cautiously walk into the room and quick, gentlemen, quick, form up behind me, speaking to my Bretonian
Yes,
bastards.
of course. And they do so. They form up behind you. Marius and Seamus, you guys both enter the house, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you leaving the door open?
Marius should probably close it at the end
Okay.
if he's the last one in. Yep.
You close the door and you glance down and you hear scraping sounds from deep somewhere in the hole. Weird, strange noises. Collectively, between all of you, you would know that there is, in fact, a sewer system under Sealburg. This is one of the few places in the Empire that has running water that comes from an aqueduct kind of system outside of many of the major cities. And this is obviously a hole into that system. And you can probably guess who made it. Are we venturing down into the hole?
I would like to take a look around the rest of the house.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for?
I was not expecting. What time is it? Is it noon yet?
It is noon.
Okay.
No sign of anyone else?
Yeah, Mr. Gold should have been here. I want to look around. And see
I
if
will
there's-
say, all of you give me an intuition test.
Okay. But basically, I want to look around and see if there's any sign for a scuffle if I need to.
Oh. God, suck it. Rolling for intuition. I rolled a 73 out of 47.
Okay. Seamus?
I re-rolled and got a 15 out of 56.
This is going to be very fitting. Bragadine.
82 out of
Okay,
64.
So this is actually extremely fitting. I like when the dice work in my favor here. You guys are all kind of cautiously looking around, and Seamus, you're walking around and then you step on something. It's kind of lumpy. You reach down and you pull up a black eye patch.
Oh,
that looks exactly like the one that Three Fingers had. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Rise of the Forsaken.
Oh, man.
My love.
I wonder what happened.
You took everything from me.
So, yes, this is going to get interesting, is all I can say. Awesome. But, man, what a hell of a session, guys. Got pretty crazy there. Let's favorite moments. Cast and the crew. Start with Marius Wolf.
Oh, gee. Gosh. I think it was the combat, you know.
God damn it. I hate you so much.
I think it was. I think it was that knife as chop, you know. Or maybe slapping the eardrum of that guy who busted my eardrum, you know, and then slapping on the other side of the head, you know. Classic.
It
felt good. Also, you know, the reveal of Miss Montague.
Yeah, Lady Montague.
It was an emotional roller coaster. Yeah.
Oh yes, it was. A lot of things clicking into place here. A lot of directions this could have went. I was excited to see which direction this was going to go. It's going a good place.
This is one of those days, you know. This is a shit day. You know, it's been a shit like 24 hours.
It's true. How about Seamus McCready? Favorite moments of the night?
You know, Marius I feel like he went the full spectrum of the Johnny Cage nut shot.
Yeah.
And then he went completely to the other side of the spectrum and was Ric Flair chopping everybody.
Hell yeah, you know,
just somewhere in the poor section, you know, you just hear woo.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
Just that guy's heart, you know, just stopped beating.
Stopped his heart.
Got chopped.
Slapped him so hard. His heart stopped. It's fantastic.
So painful. Understand.
It's such a. Can't you tell this is such a gritty, realistic world? I mean,
hell yeah.
It's so grimdark. How about Mr. Galactic?
Oh, that was easy. That was Marius putting Brigadine in his place about his family and ran to Mr. Gold. I was just like, that was great. That was the best. That was the best part. The second best part, and the funniest was, she made you shut up. She made you shut up. Like twice. It was just like, But no, I think that role play that Marius brought was some great game.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty good. I have to say, I enjoy a good Lady Montague. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. I enjoyed playing her the first
fantastic.
time. And I enjoyed playing her the second time. So hopefully she gets some more screen time. We'll see how it goes. But yes,
it's crazy, you know. It's crazy.
It is. The place is crazy. It's craziness. There's a reason for it all. I promise.
Oh,
so we'll see. But I'm definitely really excited the direction we're going in because there was a lot of possibilities on the table. So this is going to be interesting. Is all I can say. I've got a lot of things planned. It's going to be great. But yes. So with that, a viewer decision before we cut out. I need to know from all of you out there that watch this to comment down in the comment section, and I need to know. I need to be very specific with my wording here. I need to know how many weapon teams have been prepared in the down here in the Warrens, from all of you out there. I'm not gonna be. I'm basically. I have some stuff prepared already. I just want to know how badly you want me to hurt the party because I will go with it. It's gonna be great. So I need to know what I've got. What I've got ready down in the basement, ready for all of the fellowship to experience. It's gonna be glorious, guys. It's gonna be glorious. Yes. But yes, thank you very much for watching, especially if you've made it this far in the episode. Do make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. It helps me out, and it helps this get out to more people. And we do like sharing this with you. Me and the Fellowship, we talk about the game all the time, and we definitely enjoy your comments. So make sure to leave them in the comments section. As usual, I've been Jumbo Thick. Thank you very much for watching. And we are looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a good day.